players in this area, meaning that the players or the caliber of players that we have had here in the Heat is some of the highest we've seen in a Dreamhack land here domestically in the U.S. Now, obviously, we have winter.
Talk about it. So how'd you come up with this game?
Oh, right. I was in Vegas and one weekend, and I couldn't sleep, and I just sat there and wrote the game. But while I was home during COVID, I finished it. So yes, last year, I pretty much just was playing with friends and stuff, perfected the game. So now I have a complete game. It's a game of luck, and everybody loves it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Obviously, it's original. It's your idea.
Yes.
What would you compare your game to?
So like a couple of players were saying, it reminds them of a game called LCR, left, center, right. But they said mine is a couple steps above that, because theirs is just dice. Mine is a card and dice, and they have different tasks for you to complete.
Okay.
So that was makes it different.
Somebody wants to buy your game. How do they get a hold of you to see what you got?
Okay, I am on Amazon, and I have an online store. Just visit 711potluckgame.com, and I also have a Christmas promotion out. You can get $10 off of any game set. There's a selection. I have a normal game here. This is the original game, and then I have gift sets. What makes this different is it's a nice wooded box. It's great for your mantle, and it comes with a nice luxury heavy pen, priced very well, and it also comes with a coaster set. So when you're playing with a group of people and you don't want your table getting messed up, here you go. It comes with the instruction guide and pots to hold the money, and it comes in three different sizes: small, medium, and large.
And what's your name?
Teresa Harris.
This is definitely a nice little strike off of here. It's going to be able to pick off that kind of the benefits as well that we're school as a goes down. You can really see that when he progresses there, the more he did so, as he tried to dissipate, that he's still had effects going down as well on these different supply units or so.
or my tag is Axie. My name's Caden Reimers, and I'm the creative services lead for Rushdown Revolt. And yeah.
So I see Rushdown Revolt is a fighting game. How does this all come about? What's this kind of based off of? Or is this something more original?
So the idea, or the pitch I give everyone, is that this game is like Smash crossed with Guilty Gear. So you have like the platform fighter base kit. You have a lot of mechanics based on like anime fighters and traditional fighters, like health bars, air dashes, roaming cancels, things like that. Burst is necessary in this game, right? It's just so fast paced and like so high APM that like you're gonna need it, right? But that was kind of the idea, is to bring that like really fast, really like mixed heavy game style that anime fighters have to the platform fighter genre.
Yeah. Talk about the process. Is this something that took 2 years, 3 years? How long has it been to make it?
So we've been in open development for probably 2 or 3 years, where like you can play it. It's free to play right now, but it has the closed alpha tag on it, right? And that's because we're still developing a lot of systems and like it's changing character to character. And we don't want people to get upset with they like really love a character and we have to rework them in a year, you know? But we're coming close on the launch time, and we want to just make sure everything's polished before we start shipping. Full release, console release, things like that. And just make sure the game's like in its best state possible for launch.
So you mentioned releasing some consoles and things like that, so the goal is to have it distributed on all platforms?
Yes, eventually. Not during development, because it kind of makes the process a little bit more difficult and slows down some things like updates. But yeah, eventually we do want to come to consoles. Hopefully next year.
Name some of the challenges you guys had to kind of overcome to get this thing out here.
Well, because of COVID and because of like where the teams separated at, almost all of the work on this game was done remotely. Like nobody's in the same building working on this game. It's all done on like over Discord and like Slack and like different things like that to keep track of stuff, which makes like it's very easy to miscommunicate. You know, if you can't see the person's face and they're like making a really deadpan joke and you're like, oh, I should do this thing, they were serious about it, and it just messes up the process sometimes. You know.
Obviously, you got your hand in the game. What's your best feature or maybe character? This is something you like about the game, personally.
So I'll give you two things. The first one is like the types of characters we have. So we're bringing archetypes that are classic in like 2D fighters, like grapplers, zoners, things like that, and like throwing them in this genre, and it's working. Is like the cool thing. And then the second thing is like how expressive this game can be. More so than most games that I play, like your personality really shines through when like you're an aggressive player. Like you can play as aggressive as you want. If you're a really passive player and you like to poke them down, you can play that way too, and on the same character, no less. If you're good enough in this game, anything leads into anything else, but only if you're good enough.
Ooh. And people can find the game on Steam?
Yeah, free to play on Steam. We got rollback netcode, best in the biz. I play with people in Europe all the time, and I'm West Coast, so like amazing netcode. We got like weekly events with prize pools, and works with like any controller out of the box.
What is the name of Beto's fleet?
The Alcor?
No, that's incorrect.
The Crux fleet.
That is correct.
It's just 49 night on Steam. We're gonna have it on the autumn sale and the winter sale, so you get it for like $1.69, super cheap. But it's just a Twitch puzzle shooter. We're making matches of 3 or more on a circular game board. That's a giant space cell, and it's trying to kill you. So it's one of those like match shooters that you're having to dodge traps while also making matches, pick up weapons to help you, get the top score.
So how'd you come up with this concept?
It's the arcade game I've always wanted to play. I love Gradius, Galaga, the World War II one. I can't remember the name, like 1943 or 1945. And Bubble Bobble, Bejeweled, all of them. So I kind of blended them together and made this the arcade game I really wanted to play.
Now, are you a one-man show? Or?
This was made with me, another buddy G, and then Tom. We wrote our own engine, all of it. So it was a 3-man team. And then a buddy of ours is a metal musician, so he wrote the music for it.
Nice.
Yeah.
What were the challenges with putting this together?
Don't write your own engine for the first video game you ever make. That would be the first one. Honestly, it was just the biggest challenges were learning everything firsthand. Like nobody taught us, we didn't go to school for it. We were like, I'm gonna make a fucking game, so we just made a game. Just throw ourselves against the wall until something sticks.
Wow, that's awesome. What was that process? How long was that process?
5 straight months to get the build together, and then over about 11 years back and forth. Yeah, we only had 5 months to actually just get together, like every day, just smashing it through. And then life got busy. G got pregnant, had twins. Tom moved to Florida, so it was a bit harder to work. So we just spent time just polishing it up, making sure that our engine worked on all systems, and then we just released it finally.
That's awesome, man. And what's your name again?
I'm Posey.
Posey?
Yeah, like Ring Around the Rosie, Pocket Full of Me.
And people can find the game on Steam?
Yeah, it's on Steam, Metacell, Genesis Arcade, as well as this other game. It's our new project we started this year called Seneca 7. It's also on Steam. Our demo is now available, and we're doing something fun when we make this game. Instead of spending all the time building the game and then releasing it, we're releasing it as an episodic demo as we build it. So we wrote a prologue for our story, and we're creating the demo as the prologue. So as early access goes and people keep playing and keep writing and creating it, they're learning the history and the lore behind the game, basically tutorial playing and figuring it out. And then when it releases, it's new. So it's not an early access where everybody's playing the same thing. It's early access prologue, and then the game comes out, and then it's new, and you get to figure out what happens next.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Marcel Rosado with Lunarex Games, created Fright Night Legend. It's an action beat 'em up. It'll be coming out on Steam on December 14th. And basically, it's a fantasy-based game where you can, play co-op, you can play single player, and I'm trying to put the online co-op in there so you can play with people online as well. But yeah, it has a lot of action, a lot of monsters and magic and traps to avoid. So it's pretty much all the 90s retro gaming, features that you want to put into a game.
You say 90s retro. What kind of fueled the idea to create this type of game?
I'd say like stuff like Streets of Rage, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles arcade game, Final Fight, stuff like that. Though most of those games are like based more on modern times, I try to do something that was a little bit more fantasy based. Especially with like all the stuff happening with like Game of Thrones and like Lord of the Rings, and even though this game's been in development for 2 years, it's kind of like the perfect timing for all that stuff to come out.
Talk about the process. Was it something that happened in a year or so? Did it take longer than that? How long did it take to get the game out here?
It took me about 2 years to get the game developed, and at first it was just a small project. I wanted to just put a game out there, but eventually it just grew bigger and bigger because I wanted to add a story to it. So I hired writers, and then wanted to get really good voiceover actors. So then I could hire those people, and then it just kind of turned into like a full-fledged game where instead of just a regular beat 'em up where it's just punching and kicking, I really put some thought into adding magic, adding a story, adding traps. That's one thing I think that separates this game from most of them, because there's a lot of traps you have to avoid while you're fighting. So it's not just punching and kicking the whole time. You have to actually pay attention to your surroundings.
Talk about obviously COVID was a big thing.
Yeah.
What other challenges did you have outside of COVID with trying to get this game developed?
Definitely like, meeting timelines, coordination. I would say by far the biggest thing is marketing. Developing the game seemed hard at the time, but now it's really like the easiest part of making the game, because once marketing started getting involved, it's like a whole different beast. And you can make a great game, but if you don't have marketing behind it, like no one's gonna know about it. And I kind of found out later in the, later towards the development that how important it was. So now I'm just kind of catching up with the marketing. And the game right now seems like it's a piece of cake, doing all the finishing touches to it compared to doing the marketing aspect.
Where can people find the game right now?
It'll be on Steam on December 14th, and I'm going to try to expand to different areas like Android, iOS, hopefully consoles. I think we'll make it for the Mac. I'm going to try to get on Linux as well, so I'm trying to get into as many platforms as possible.
And give me your name again and the company that produced the game.
Marcel Rosado, and I'm with LunarX Games. We're based in Atlanta, Georgia. And you can go to lunarxgames.com, or if you want to check out the game, go to frightnightlegend.com.
All right, hello, I'm Lauren Fieser. I'm the CEO of Corrupted Media Productions, and we make Vertical Shift.
Yeah, and I'm Ben Snowden. I'm Vice President of Creative Content and founder with Lauren and Sean. So Vertical Shift is a game about playing grapple hooks and jetpacks. We take that game and we throw you into several different types of game modes, including kind of an open world city, and our kind of main targeted esports-oriented game mode, Freeze Tag. Freeze Tag is a team-based game mode where there's 5v5, where the goal is to tag every one of the enemy team to get a point. To kind of give you some more revivability, we allow you to revive your teammates to keep you back in the fight, so it's not just kind of quick one and done. It kind of opens up a lot of roles and positions. You kind of have different play styles, kind of different team comps to kind of allow through high skill forwards and teams.
Yeah, and our game is currently available on Oculus App Labs and Steam VR in early access. We are free to play, so you can look us up, find us, join us now. We run regular tournaments on our Discord, which you can join and get in on the tournaments with cash prizes. We're here at Dreamhack this weekend showing off our demo. We have people playing the multiplayer in headsets we've provided, as well as tournaments we've been running on site with cash prizes. Yesterday's prize pool was $80. Yep. $80, and that was all from buy-ins from the players.
Absolutely. As far as the tournaments go, and you mentioned the Discord and our regular tournaments, a lot of our players that go, I'd say, are on the higher end of our skill ceiling, all hang out in our Discord, and they all help each other get better, get new guys in there, and the more teams, the more competition, the more fun overall.
It's actually a really good point. And we also hang out in our Discord, so if you play our game and you have feedback, you have ideas, something we can make better, we would love to hear it. So please join our Discord and come chat with us.
Absolutely.
Is this you guys' first game, or have you got anything else?
The first game is Corrupted Media Productions. These guys have other games under their belt from just developing throughout their entire lives. But
I think the first game was I made around 12 or 13 in high school.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, my brother Sean is also on the team. He's behind us helping people get in headset right now. We came in 2019 with a game he made for mobile to Dreamhack, and so this has been a real step up from that booth, because we had a single table in the student game hall, and now we have this big booth with all this room.
Talk about the difference in making a game for mobile or Steam or something like that to VR. Like what's the difference?
Absolutely. So kind of the bigger obvious answers for me to that would be the type of hardware you have, and the second kind of answer for that would be kind of what type of user base you get. Your kind of mobile games are more casual players. A lot of people have their phones, just want like a 1 or 2 minute thing to kind of get them past their moment of boredom, and so mobile games are really oriented towards casual and kind of just really not low fidelity, even high fidelity, but just kind of simpler topics and easy to kind of play over. In VR, you typically have more of a dedicated crowd, someone that was like, hey, I'm going to go drop money on a headset, and I'm here for the experience. So in those games, the fidelity stays around a little bit of the same, depending on if you're doing PC VR or a standalone like the Quest 2. But when it comes to VR, you have to think a lot about more of how to immerse a player in a 3D environment that they can kind of see right there with 2 eyes.
And I want to add to that, and this is my favorite part of developing for VR, is that the rules haven't been written yet.
Yes.
With mobile games and traditional gaming on 2D monitors, there's 30 years of history to pull from. And for most things that you want to add to your game, someone's done it before, and you can look up how to do it. Or there's classes you can take, or there's research you can do. But in VR, there are things that that no one has done yet because it's only been around for 4 years. That's really been the big target, vertical shift. We wanted to build things people haven't made yet.
Note on that, a big thing about this game, it is 5v5, so that's 10 people in a room. That's not unheard. That's never been unheard of really in any recent years on PC. Plenty of games have several people in a room. However, for VR, back when we started this project in college, there was really only a maximum of 3 people for most VR games out in the market, if that. So as a competitive PC gamer, something I really wanted for like the VR was rooms that had enough to bring all of my friends in, and I not just having to select 1 or 2 to play with me. And so that was something really big when we kind of were like, oh, let's go build a competitive esports game. We need to support the esports format of having a good amount of players that kind of create your dynamic teams and kind of create all of that areas for different types of players.
Yeah, one of the impetus moments of creating Vertical Shift was when we all got our Quest 1 headsets back when they came out. We were so excited to get them. We all got them and hit each other up like, all right, let's play. And then there was no game that could fit all of us. There was no game for us to play together, so we decided to make them.
Awesome. And the game can be found on
Oculus/Meta App Labs. You look us up, Vertical Shift VR. You do have to scroll to the bottom and agree to look at App Lab games. We're also on Steam Early Access, which is easier to find. Just look us up on Steam, we'll be there.
And give me your names again?
Absolutely. I'm Lauren Fieser. I'm the CEO and Business Development Manager.
I'm Ben Snowden, VP of Creative Content and Founder.
And we are Corrupted Media Productions.
Go out there and Edgeguard ends up getting scooped up by Mitch King's great offset play. So.
I realized for Mars to play with festivities, it's like you want to play adjustments, you still go to a smaller stage. Like you running into a ledge, not my 2K is the same like anywhere you go.
Okay. Surprised on the on that one, but right off the top. This is a great start here for S5. Still though, I would be very worried about playing future game. Too much athlete. Get up attack guys. I'm waiting out.
NPen, who has done well on the night. Like we said, NPen needed a big win after a couple of lackluster performances. Can this performance here redeem him? Well, it's going to have to start off by fighting up against Uberski, who is refusing to back down. NPen might have scared him a little bit, though. A quick shot's going to drain him of most of his shield. Uberski is actually going to back off. Try and look for a little bit more free and a chance to heal on up. But NPen now has figured out that there is some weakness in the eyes of his opponent.
That's based in Atlanta, and we go to hospital visits, charity events, community events in character, and bring some extra magic for kids. It's a lot of fun.
Nice. Now, how long have you been doing cosplay?
I've been doing cosplay entirely too long. I started when I was 12. But our organization is going to have its 10-year anniversary next year, actually. So we've been doing volunteering in Atlanta for about 10 years now.
And what's your name? What's the name of the organization?
My name's Ellie. I'm one of the admins, actually, and we are Cosplay Volunteers of Atlanta.
Got it. How do people find you?
We've got cards.
Are you a nonprofit?
We are not actually organized. We work with nonprofits, but we are not like a codified nonprofit, so we can't take donations or anything like that. We do have certain organizations, because our founder actually has family that has mitochondrial disease, so that's our go-to charity. If people want to donate in our name, they can do that. But we just go volunteer at nonprofit and community events and bring joy to kids. It's lots of fun.
Hey, I'm Kartik. I'm the creative director of Finite Reflection Studios, and this is our game Void Souls, a minimalist Dark Souls game.
All right. Explain the concept of the game. How'd you come up with it? And
so the concept is pretty simple. It's a minimalist Souls-like. We wanted to take all the things that we find most fun about Souls-like games like Dark Souls, Bloodborne, Elden Ring, and basically take all the fun and minimalize all of the visuals and create a very condensed version of what we think is the most interesting about this genre.
How long did it take for you to get the game fully developed? Is it done at this point, or is it still?
Yeah, so we've been working on this game for about 6 months, and it's already out on Steam for free. We are right now fleshing it out beyond that point. What we released on Steam is called Void Souls Prologue. It's the very beginning of the game. We're gathering some community feedback, and we want to hear from fans and players what they want to see in the future of this game.
Any challenges while putting the game together?
Yeah, there's been a lot of creative challenges in creating a game like this, most notably creating an aesthetic that is both minimalist but also very visually appealing and eye-catching, and communicating all of the same complex information that you find in a normal Souls-like while keeping the visual language clean and minimalist.
Cool. All right, well, thank you for your time. What's your name once again?
My name is Kartik Kinney.
All right, can you spell that for me?
KartikKini.
He was on a he may have gone on something like a 350 something day streak when he lost one guy an online permit, wanted to other one. But by the meanwhile, he was a consistent round 16 or like round 12 finisher. He'd be a player that very consistent able to make decent runs in tournaments and be like, oh yeah, kind of golf flop for body. He did pretty well in that event. It's that game to keep seeing, but we didn't really get a lot of attention. But I'd say in the past year,
they've been an amazing part of helping keep me motivated, more people to talk to. I also stream my development, so on Twitch, hearing people give me comments and feedback has really helped keep going through the process without giving up.
Give me your name, the name of the game, and your company.
Hi, I'm Karen Williams with Hiccup Interactive, and I made Urchins and Ink.
Thank you.
I have a business card.
Okay. Talk about Slider and how do you come up with the concept of this game?
Yeah, so Slider is a 2D puzzle exploration game, and it's about, you have a 3x3 grid, and you can move tiles, and it'll move the map. So you can use that to rearrange stuff, solve puzzles, explore, and all that. It started out as a game jam game in GMTK 2021. So we did pretty well. We got 16 out of 6,000 people, and so we were like, hey, let's carry it through, So I pitched it to my college's game dev club, VG Dev at Georgia Tech. We worked on it for a semester there, and then followed through in the summer, and now fall, and we're gonna keep going until it's done.
So how long does it take for you to develop the game?
At this point, it's been about a year. We're planning on, I don't know, we keep estimating and it's wrong, but we think it'll be done by the end of spring, and then some beta testing, so it'll come out sometime in summer 2023.
What were any challenges when you made the game?
We've had a lot of technical challenges in terms of just programming, design challenges because of our game. You can see the palette is very limited, so we've had to do a lot of work to be able to guide the player subtly without introducing a lot of colors and other tools that other games have. And also just the style of the game is we want to try and let the player explore on their own. We don't want to hold their hand. So again, being able to guide them without them feeling like they're being told what to do.
So with it, it reminds me of I remember the little plastic games you can slide the...
Yeah, a puzzle. It's exactly that. That's the base inspiration.
Yeah.
So there's 3x3 grids, which is a puzzle, and then there's also 4x4s, which are more common, 16 puzzle. We have 9 areas in our game. One of them is actually a 4x4 grid, so intimidating.
What's the best part that you think people will like about your game?
I think the puzzles are very satisfying to solve because they're very simple yet also challenging. They require you to think about the mechanics in very different ways. So once you do that perspective shift, you're like, oh, I got it, and it's very cool.
And they can find the game on Steam. Is it a demo? Or
Yep. So right now it's free demo on Steam, and then when it comes out later, when we're done with it, it'll also be free. So if you wishlist it, you'll get notified.
And how can they find you?
You can follow me at randomers_, or just go to Steam. My Twitter is there too.
All right. Thank you, sir. Talk about your experience here at Dream. Is this your first time here, or?
So I was at Dallas. Dallas, at the end of it, they gave us 50% off. So I got the 3-day pass here, and I'm here for Magic mostly. I did a few events, not the big ones, but little set events. And then even though I don't know the games or a lot about the games, I still enjoy watching them.
So outside of the Magic, are these tournaments or?
Yeah,
they are. The overall experience in general is pretty good.
Yeah, it's a real good time. Like I said, I enjoyed it so much last time, and they gave us a discount, so I did the 3-day event this time. Hopefully they do that again.
Cool. What's your name?
Devin.
Devin?
How's it going on? I've been having a really good time here at Dreamhack Atlanta. I've been to pretty much all of them, but this is definitely the biggest one. We had T-Pain come through, we got Ludwig here, we got Dr. Lupo. We're having a really good time. The Intel Gaming booth, if you haven't been through, come check it out.
What's the best part of Dreamhack that you like?
I actually kind of like the BYOC area. Even though I don't necessarily get to interact with it, I have a lot of friends that like to come from out of town and bring their own setups. And they bring really nice $5,000 setups that are souped up with RGB and liquid cooling and all this other stuff. And I don't know nothing about that really, but it's really cool to see them bring their stuff out and come have a good time.
Have you considered going to Dallas? Have you been to Dallas?
I have not been to Dreamhack Dallas yet, but I definitely do want to go out there. I have a friend out there that's inviting me for the next one, so I'm definitely looking to check that out.
Cool. And what's your name?
Lavosky.
Spell that for me.
It's Levoski.
So talk to me about your experience here at your first DreamHack.
It was definitely very fun. There's some issues in the beginning for the Fortnite event, but they got it all worked out, and I ended up getting 21st, and it was $1,000, so not bad.
Now, are you local, or I think you said you flew here?
Yeah, I flew in from New Jersey. So yeah.
What was the best part of your experience here?
Just meeting everyone that I hang out with online. It's definitely a cool experience.
Okay. So talk about your experience here at DreamHack.
It's really fun. I don't play games as much as my fiance does, so I'm trying out new ones. They have a lot of games over there that I was trying out. They're pretty fun.
What's the best thing that you've found that you liked being here at the event?
The merch, the shopping stuff, and a lot of stuff.
The merch, eh?
Yeah.
Are you local? Did you travel to get here?
From Jacksonville. So like 5-ish hours.
Good deal. It's here at DreamHack, and what all you did?
Oh gosh. Okay, my first experience. So I got here yesterday. Spent a few hours walking around. It was really cool. Met some friends online for the first time. It was really dope. Saw a lot of like cool cosplay, a lot of like, cool people walking around, a lot of friendly people here. People manning the Creator Hub, Bear, all of them, they're dope. They're awesome. But yeah, it's been a cool experience so far.
What's been the best experience you've had here?
Best experience has to be like meeting people online in person for the first time and just seeing a bunch of friendly faces. The energy is great. Everyone's having a good time.
Well, tell people how they can find you online.
You can find me at Quavy, QWAVII on all socials. But yeah, I'm a streamer. I be out here.
Did you do any gaming while you were here? Like, did you any tournaments? I guess.
No, unfortunately not. I'm about to do this rock paper scissors tournament. Wish me luck. Try and get that first place. But yeah, no gaming.
And what's your first name?
Liv.
L-I-V?
Yes.
All right.